morning, folks. Let's get started for today's episode of Daily Market Update. First, I wanted to start off with a disclaimer that all the information presented in this video is for educational purposes only. You can use this information for your buy or sell decisions, but you're solely responsible for your decisions. Okay. Having said that, first let's look at the markets, how they're doing. The number one is today the Facebook went down really bad, and it has reached, formed a lower low, and it is still going up. So I'm looking at CNBC. And the second one today was the Peloton. Peloton has also been given the results today. And the other one that was today was NFLX, which is again, which has gone down again to $86. So these are some of the news. And I don't know why. Do you guys know why this finviz.com is not coming? The site. It used to have all the information together at one place. So I am not, but definitely those are some news that we wanted to see. Other than that,
it's actually V, not W.
I got that too. Oh yeah, fantastic. That's thank you. Maybe yesterday it was. Okay, so what I'm saying is, so these are what we are seeing is since yesterday, as I was mentioning, SPY doesn't look that great, and but if I'm looking at any major news today that we should look at, so not anything particular. So we are looking at China central banker calls for crackdown, and then American Express funds. So everybody is moving towards the digital checking accounts and all these things. So that's fine. But the major thing is SPY is still down today. So as I have been mentioning for the past few days, SPY is going to go closer to 400. So how we position it is the key now. Okay. Okay. Let's get back to the chart, starting with SPY. And as I mentioned, let's move on to the one chart. I want to more look at the weekly charts to give us more idea. So if you look at the weekly charts, the SPY is, one second, guys. Yeah. The SPY has it hit this area, which is 453, and it's starting to go down. Now the next area which we are seeing is around 410. And if it crosses that, we are looking at the bottom of the cloud, which is 400, 388. So the next stop will be around here. This is going to be 410. So it looks like very much like it. There's a moving average 100, but it's not moving average 100. It's a moving average 50. If it definitely crosses 435, we are in for this fall. So it seems to be very likely, but just wanted to mention all these things. Similarly with QQQ. QQQ is like looking much more like it went from the top of the cloud, and it still hasn't touched the conversion. The conversion is at 369 and 371. So what I'm expecting is it should go and touch this 369, because whenever if you purely take it from the Ichimoku perspective, it didn't. It went from here, from the bottom of the cloud, and the next stop should be the conversion, purely from Ichimoku perspective. Otherwise, if you look at this moving average, which is, let me see, this is 349, right? Or this is not 349. This is, which one is it? Oh, 359. Yeah, this is the one. So moving average 50, it formed 2 days below it. So even it may not go there, I'm not sure. So it still wants to go down. So 359, and then it goes down. So the next stop will be 315, the bottom of the cloud, if it goes there, or the next line is 301. So definitely these are the things, folks. But since it crossed moving average 50, the most scary part is the moving average 200 is far, far, far below, which is like 249.60. So I hope we don't go there. But I'm thinking more from the moving average 100, which is 314.60, and 300. So which is what we are looking at. Okay. So definitely, if you are having a long-term portfolio, try to play covered calls. If you are having options for portfolio, try to hedge your portfolio a little bit because the fall might be steep and at least you can protect them a little bit. IWM. IWM is where it's finding it very hard to cross this line, 199.50. It went from the bottom of the cloud, but usually here the bottom of the cloud is at, if you look at it, it is at 216, no, it is 188, and how much was the low of it? It was 188, so it did touch the bottom of the cloud. So what I'm seeing is, it touched the bottom of the cloud, but there is a heavy resistance of this trend line. If it crosses this trend line, it can go up to 220. So the question is, what is the market going to do? All the three markets are very hesitant today. They haven't given us a clear direction. So I would recommend to keep sit on hands until we get a clear direction. At least you should see a 2-unit confirmation on this one. So let's see, let's go back to the 2-day chart, chart. This is the daily, this is the weekly chart. So let's look at daily and see what it does. So the daily looks better in the sense it has crossed this line a little bit, but the same line, and it has gone to this one. So is it planning to go is the question. Because this is the first week here. So if it takes off from here, then we can at least see a level to the next level, which is at here, 215, 220. So IWM, which coincides with the top of the cloud. Similarly for QQQ, let's see even this one, it is still below moving average 10. So this doesn't look good. So IWM is the only one which looks a little bit better. So we can look at some of the stocks because they have been already beaten down so much. If you look at IWM, they went from a high of 244, then they went to 198. It doesn't mean that we are out of the thing, out of the bearish stance, but this definitely seems to be a second wave forming, and then we might see further down. But I don't know how far it can go. Moving average 200 is very close. So I'm expecting it will go to the top of the cloud and then go there here. That's what I'm expecting it. So IWM is a thing to watch out for, to go for 220. Any questions so far? Okay, let's continue. The next one, what we want to see is Apple. So Apple has been struggling with this line, right? If you look at the daily or the weekly, on the weekly, if you see here, it is coinciding with the moving average 10. The moving average 10, the last week it was at 172.39 and it was above moving average 10. And this week it is also around the same thing. So 172.65. So it is trying to stay around this. And Apple definitely, if it stays above moving average 10 this week, we should see a move to 200 in the next coming 3-4 weeks. So this is one of the stocks that have been pretty strong, and definitely it's something to keep an eye watch for. Okay, why I'm saying 3 to 4 weeks is because it has fallen down for 4 weeks, and it will take another 2 weeks to go above it, and then we should see this. Okay, the next one what I want to talk is FB. FB, we were in this trade yesterday, but it became a total disaster. The reason being is it formed a lower low. We expected it to bounce back from this moving average 200, and today it bounced here, but yesterday it went further down. I'm not sure what is the reason, but this is what it is happening. So we are seeing, and maybe it is because of today also at 7:37 it went further down because Kathy offloaded a chunk of shares of the Twitter. So, you know, ARK is offloading and uploading stocks in the short term, and that is having an effect on all the social media websites. So I'm sure even Snap might have fallen a bit. Yeah, see, Snap is also going down. If I see, I have put today, so it is at 36.2. So that is how it is, folks. So Snap definitely has to come back. Snap, but on the other hand, has a good move coming up. because it's doing better than that. I expect this guy to come back to 30.95 and then move back to 45. So that is possible. So in the weekly chart, always when you draw the Fibonacci, it will move. What I've seen, observed is it moves in the 25 increments. So it moved from 0 to 75, then comes back here and then pulls back here. But you have to keep drawing your trend lines to make sure where it could resist. So it will not go in the straight line, but it will keep moving in that zigzag fashion. Move 25, give 12.5, then move 25, then this one. So keep a watch on it. It's not like it will always work, but these are the good points to enter. Okay. So we saw Apple, FB, then Netflix. Netflix, the same thing, folks. It went from 0 to 75 in a rapid pace. Then it fell down to 12.5. So it is hovering around this area, 87.5. The next top, if you see the trend lines, it is here. It is, we are expecting around 528 or something, which can happen by next week or the week after. So this is the area that you want to be in. So I drew the trend line here. The trend line is here. And this is coinciding with the top trend line that I've drawn. So we are talking about 2 more weeks. That is around 500 or 528. What I'm expecting is it will go to the top of the cloud, which is around 528, which is the start of the new Gann rotation. 529 is a major resistance, and it will go there and then it will come. So this is what we are looking at. Okay. So that's pretty much what we are seeing here.
That's a really bold prediction. 520, that's like another 25% up, right? So
come again.
For Netflix, another 25% up, right? That's 515. Yeah.
515, yes, that's what it is. Then unless it crosses this line, I don't think so, because this looks like only the first wave. Then it is again going to fall further. Definitely, folks, market is waiting. There will be rapid moves. Don't expect, if you are not on the computer, these things can hit in a day and then it will fall back very fast, just like how Google did the other day. Okay, so it's time to be very nimble. Basically, if you remember near Google, it went from here, and within 2 weeks it went to this one, right? 3,023, and then it has fallen down. If you see yesterday, it fell below moving average 10 again. So these are the kind of moves we are going to see because of the volatility. Okay, volatility is at 24. It is now below 8 and 21. This is not the exact one I use, but we can see this, right? So volatility is right now below, but if it gears up again, then, so one good technique to use is whenever the volatility is very, very high, look at SPY puts or something where you can do that and align with the market. Because as the VIX increases, your premiums are going to increase. As the premium increases, buying will become more expensive, whereas selling will become more cheaper. So look at selling your calls, selling your puts, that way. I mean, selling your puts is again bullish, but again, selling is always better during the volatile markets because you will get more premium for what you're doing, okay? Unless you know. So use the technicals and then use it. But now VIX yesterday collapsed. It was around 22 and it was below moving average 10 and 20. So, but keep a watch on it, folks. If it gears up again, then you want to keep it. That's why I said this market needs a lot of nimbleness. You want to be on top of it. Okay. So we talked about Google also. The next one I want to talk is Amazon. So Amazon, I remember this was the line I was talking about. We played this market and for like a 7x the other day, 3180, and it has come there. So if you see here, it geared up in the intraday, it went up high to 3250, but if you see, it has come back down. You see this every time it moves a 25% move, folks. So it went to the 75% retracement, that is 3248, and then it came back. Now it closed below. Now, where can Amazon go? Don't think I'm being bearish, plus I'm just looking at the charts where it could go. So I may be wrong, but if you draw a line like this, so you are looking at 62.5. Okay, So the next stop is 2575 if it is if it is going to there, or 2047. From what I'm seeing, most of the stocks and the stock market loves round numbers. So what I'm thinking is, they are all the gains that were made in 2 years. Like I remember Amazon. If you look at it, when did it go to 2000? See that? This was somewhere around this area. Let's see. So this was the lowest, right? So this was started at 1.7. That was on March 16, 2020. So what it is trying to do is it's trying to give up that gain and all the gains, and then it's coming back. So maybe we'll look at 2000. Okay, that's what it is. So we are going to see rapid falls. I believe, at least I think so. If it goes up, I'll be more than happy, because I have my long-term portfolio also dollar cost average. But think about it as an opportunity also. The reason is, as it falls, it's a good thing. The reason is, if you keep dollar cost averaging at these levels, then actually millionaires are made in the bearish markets, folks, not in the bullish market. The reason being is, as the prices go down, you're getting it to cheaper and cheaper prices. If you can position yourself to take advantage of those cheaper prices, then when it goes up, you're going to have a good boost in your portfolio. Okay, so just wanted to. This is about Amazon, and then what else? What is the other stock that we wanted to see? FAANG, and anything. Netflix we saw. That's it. So one stock we played yesterday was the BKKT. So the BKKT is like pretty nice. You see this, it went to 5.8 and we got an immediate double on it. We played it from 4.5 and we did. Why we played it? Look at this line, folks. It is trying to go here, which is 827. Still there is time, but the thing is, it is below all the things, right? So if it can go, like according to other predictions, it can go to $15. So it still has a lot of potential. So this is where we are looking at. Okay. So this, I mean, keep a watch on it, folks. It will quickly go and it will quickly fall too. I'm not saying it is going to stay there, but if it goes, it's going to go fast. That's what it is. This is one stock that we have been trading. Other than that, let's look at one thing that has been going up yesterday was the BTC. If you see the crypto. The crypto, it touched this line, which is again a trend line, which went very fast to 44. In 2 days, it went about 10K, almost from 30, what is it? From 32, it went to 12K, actually 44, 45. Yes, this is what. Now, this is a very crucial level. But again, if you look at it, I'm going to draw another line just to see where it is going. So it has already reached the 75% retracement and it is going to go down. So the next level is around 29, 30,000, right? So this is going to be a big fall again, folks. So, and if it goes here, then we are seeing at 24. So these are the levels we are seeing. And once from there, hopefully we pick it up. Let me see, the moving average 200 is at 16,646. And simple moving average is 44, 420. These are the levels, folks. So I am thinking the next level it could be is for 25,207. Simple moving average 100 is at that, and simple moving average 200 is 19,809. So the max it could go is up to moving average 200, which is 19,809. Whenever we are in the bearish market, it's always good to look at moving average 200s. Because that will give you an idea where it could go max. But as I mentioned, there are two levels again. Again, we might see some level of uptrend from 32,387, and we might see a move and then make a move down. Okay, so it didn't touch that. The very fact that it didn't touch that moving average 200 should give you a hint that it wants to go back there. Okay. Whenever we don't touch a moving average to 100 or anything, that means it wants to go back to that level. So you want to be cautious about these moves. You need to know where it is going to go and then where it is going to fall. So trend lines are a very good way of knowing where it is going. Okay, that's pretty much. And similarly with ETH, the same thing. So, oh, ETH is looking a little different. It has crossed the trend line and it has gone up. So it is 2 weeks above. So each one is different. Excuse me. So ETH is looking a little different actually. I'm kind of surprised, but it looks in a little bit of an uptrend. So let's see. But as for the Fibonacci, it has already reached the 37.5 retracement. So it has a potential. So we never know. But keep a watch on this line for which is 27.48. So if it crosses 27.48, we might see moving average 100 and moving out this one. So everything is like, but I hope it won't, but this looks a little bit bullish. And even, one thing I wanted to say in 2021, when we had this bearish move in October, everything retraced from moving average 50. So today we are at the critical juncture. So, and even during COVID times, we had it moving from moving average 50 and max, some of them went to moving average 200. When was COVID, guys? Do you remember the date? You can look at it. Folks, COVID was in 2019.
2020, right? Yeah.
2020, when, any month? Okay, let's see.
Yeah, I think March, February
right?
started.
Yeah, March. See, it bounced off moving average 200 at that time. So nothing to panic as long as you have these averages all in place. You know that this would be the bottom of it. Whenever there is a big divergence, let's say today the market is so divergent from the moving average 200. You see this? How much distance is there? Now, for example, if you see Google, it's at 1517 and we are like way ahead of it. So that is what is happening. So at some point or the other, it has to fall. Yeah, it has to fall and it has to come here. So this moving average 200, but I have never seen something going below this. So unless if it is, because it will always bounce back from here. And again, this is the weekly chart. In the daily chart, you might see it much more, but always have a perspective of long term so that you can look at the weeklies and see where it is heading to. Okay. So that's all I had, folks. Any charts that you want to look at other than this?
So what is the overall summary, Srini? It's like, is it bearish trend we are expected to see for rest of the week? Or like, is there any bounce back expected anytime soon?
Sure. That is why we first covered the SPY. The overall trend is looking very bearish. That's what I was telling you. The reason is, if you look at SPY, it has touched a resistance and it has closed 2 weeks below this, right? So we might see some individual stocks going up, trying to reach these resistances and fall back. But the overall trend comes from the markets, right? So the SPY doesn't look very good. It is below the moving average 10 on the weeklies, and then it is trying to go down. Okay, so I think it's still bearish. But the VIX is still not at horizon. So that is what I'm looking at. When both of them coincide, you know the market wants to go down and people are trying to sell their stuff, right? So that is when the market will give you real indications. Okay. So right now it is at this area. This week we might consolidate a little bit. We might go back to moving average 10, which is 450. That's what it has been trying to do yesterday. But what is going to happen is next week is going to be the expiration, right? Monthly expiration. So when the monthly expiration happens, that's when you will see a bigger action. You will see the market moving down and down and down.
Got it.
Did I answer your question? Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, so what I'm saying is if you don't want to get caught up in these whirlwinds, it's better to say sit on hands, because we are going to see a lot of volatility kicking up in the coming weeks. And I mean, it's very hard to make money in that market, right? Because the premiums will rise, and then you have to, even if it reaches your targets, the premium, then you have to make sure it is working well for you. That's what.
Okay. So even in that case, so spreads also avoid. So better to stay sidelines.
Unless you know what you're doing, you know how to sell your calls. Then one thing I would suggest is, if you have your portfolio, big portfolio, try to position for covered calls, those kind of things based on these support and resistances. So at least you can leverage something for getting some money, right? That's what.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah, it's not worth to play big, because all the stocks are going to fall unless you can have one of the hedges, like the market hedges. You can hedge on by buying puts on SPY, QQQ, and IWM.
Sounds good.
Yeah, always be aligned with the market, folks. If the market is going down, even if an individual stock goes up, it will still fall down very quickly. Okay, so the market trends are very, very important. Okay, anything else?
That's all. Thank you.
Hey, cool. Okay, guys, have a profitable trading day then. Okay, I'll catch you in tomorrow's video.
Sounds good. Bye. Thank you.